So my friend just mentioned something to me. Um, so introverted feeling, FI, and gratitude and saying thank you. Um, so I've noticed that like ENFPs and ESFPs that have been in my life are all very, very good at expressing gratitude verbally. Which feels good, right? To receive that as an FE inferior. And I'm noticing, with myself when I was younger, I'm an FI demon, well, FI angel now, but I noticed when I was younger, like, I was very good at saying thank you, but I remember how it felt. Like, it felt icky. Because I remember, like, if my mom would do something, I would always say thank you, and I remember she would say, "Thank you for appreciating me and never taking advantage of me." So obviously she probably felt that way a lot, but I knew how important it was to say thank you because, I don't know, I knew it, but it was still hard. It was still a hard thing to do. Sorry, there's just someone driving by. Like, it felt icky. And I was probably unaware of, like, the deeper feeling of it, like, not feeling worthy definitely could have been a part of it, but also it was kind of like inner child being a brat, like, this person's doing something for me, but I didn't ask them to do this, I don't want them to do this, and then now I have to, like, thank them for it, which feels inauthentic. But then if I don't say thank you, then I'm the ungrateful one. So it's kind of like this back and forth. But I remember I had to force myself to get the words out, thank you. And part of it, I think, was also pride. So, like, those three things, maybe there was more to it, but those three things are what come up for me. And so I'm noticing with, like, FI tricksters, ENTP and ESTP, and not all, I'm not, like, thinking about all of them, but I'm thinking of a few of them where saying thank you is a struggle for them, for sure. It needs to be intentional. And I don't know what it's like to be an FI trickster. Like, I don't know what that's like, but it's like a blind spot. It can be a place of not knowing, or you think you're better at it than you are. And I'm just gonna say something about my son who's an ESTP. I want to say something positive because he deserves to be praised and loved and cherished and all that. But, like, he is really good at saying thank you. It's just, as an FE inferior, I'm so aware of who's appreciating me and who's not appreciating me, like, outwardly. I'm so aware of it, and it's a sensitive place for my ego. And I realize that is an ego thing for sure. But yeah, I just want to give him props. Like, he does a fantastic job, especially being an FI trickster. I noticed, so there was an ESTP teacher I had once. Really great teacher, really good guy. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about the guy. He's an awesome guy. But there was this one thing I noticed. I used to be Facebook friends with him. Not anymore. I just decided, I try to keep my Facebook friends low, clean it out. But anyway, so there's this one thing I noticed with him. So, like, he owns his own business, and then he does 444 on the timer. He does a lot of, like, good, like, giving back to the community type of things. And so there was this one post he made, like, I don't know, 2 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was. And he was like, hey, if I've ever helped you out in some way, then you better show up on this day and help me out with this. And I remember thinking, oh, you know what? I think I should say something to him, like, of how, like, this comes across. But I wasn't really, like, close with him or anything. And I was like, I don't know, maybe it's not my place to say something, but, like, I should say something. I think I ended up not saying something. But, I mean, hopefully he had someone in his life who did say something about it. But I just felt like that makes it look like I'm giving to you so that you help me, and it's like transactional. And I mean, I understand why he feels that way for sure, but just the way he said it, it came across as very demanding and, like, you know. And I think in the past I've also come across as demanding, like in romantic relationships, when I didn't mean to be, but it was just kind of like, I'm aware of how much I'm giving to you and how much, like, this is really out of balance, and, like, but I think it's hard to express. It's really hard to express in a appropriate way, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, those were just some things I noticed. But yeah, as far as ego, just, this isn't really on the same topic. It's just something I'm really, really working on. As far as ego, like, I noticed change in myself when certain things that used to really frustrate me or bother me or whatever, and then your ego has this, like, it wants to say something back. But I notice in myself that when my ego feels triggered, it's softer. Like, I feel softer. It's not like a dramatic, ugh. Like, this happened, I don't know, a week ago. There's this guy on Facebook, acquaintance. I never really thought highly of him, but it was just kind of like, okay, whatever. And he was posting a few things, like, in a typology group, but he was posting someone else's stuff, and I just happened to not think highly of the person's material that he was posting, but he was doing it like 3 in a row, and I just felt like, I don't feel like this is, like, okay to do this in the group, because it's kind of like, one, okay, but 3 in a row, like, it's not at all, I don't know, I just felt like that's not right. Plus, I was biased. I don't like the guy's stuff that he was posting either, but it was the principle of it that was the main thing. So I just kind of said something, and then he said something back, and it was obvious his intention was to, like, irritate me or whatever, which it did. But I noticed, I asked myself, okay, why am I feeling irritated by this? What is this telling me about myself, right? I did the whole thing, which happens very fast. And then I was like, okay, yeah, so this is my ego saying this to me. And I mean, really, first of all, I don't need anyone in my life who's going to try to get, like, a reaction out of me. Like, I don't need that in my life. So, I think we had a couple exchanges or whatever, and then I was like, what are you doing? Like, we don't need this. And I just blocked him. I'm trying to get better at blocking people, because, yeah, like, if he would have said something constructive, that would have been different. But he was only trying to get a rise out of me, which, I'm sorry, like, those are the kind of people you don't need in your life. Like, I wasn't trying to get a rise out of him. I really just felt like, out of principality, But yeah. Anyway, I feel like those of us who are working on our spiritual awakening and spiritual growth, as we elevate ourselves more like that and change our perspectives, like I'm at this point where like I can feel like there's this stillness that's been happening, and I think it has a lot to do with the astrology. I've been studying that a little more, but I mean my own astrology anyway, with Sagittarius rising, but there's this period of stillness, and I'm understanding how the universe really orchestrated, I mean, everything to happen since I was born up until this point and beyond. And part of the letting go now is those old like perspectives that keep the mind imprisoned, like 11 that a lot of humanity is still imprisoned in. You know, a lot of humanity is still stuck in the 3D and in those mindsets and in those ego traps. And that's really what I'm trying to do right now, is really work on my own mentality and really get rid of all the ego stuff. So yeah, because when we do that, we can show up from a place of like just your pure heart and pure intention. So having the intentions, sorry, I got distracted by someone driving by, but yeah, like not letting yourself speak words that come from a place of ego, but being mindful to like, okay, the things that I'm going to speak right now, is this going to help the good of humanity, or is this just coming for my ego? So that's really what I'm focusing on now. And that will help me to continue wiring my brain to, because thinking is a habit, you know. Someone's calling me. I don't know who that is. But anyway, yeah. So I just lost my train of thought. But anyway, I guess that's it for today. Thanks.